So this is a rundown of my RC Max Stage 6 71cc Barger. It has a ton of green titanium pipe on it, WJ71 carb, which is pretty much what you want on any big bore really. I had a 46 in a Losi before, and it just didn't run right with a Rooster Tail 990. It wanted the WJ. As soon as I banged the WJ on it, it was absolutely mental. So yeah, this is the Barger build. So I'll just pull the pins out. Get ready to take this cage off. So I used to have a Graffle G-Virus back body that I painted up red, black, a bit of silver, a bit of honeycomb. Happy to find some pictures. It's on my Facebook anyway. You've probably seen it online. Do a lot of videos on this car for Facebook. After Bashfest, before Bashfest really, pretty beaten, pretty knackered, held together with cable ties where all the cracks were. Bashfest just absolutely destroyed it. Finished it off. Must have been like a 2-year-old body. Fair enough, whatever. So yeah, it's a roving cage. Been chopped there for the big bore pipe, which if you don't, it just touches the pipe, melts onto the pipe and melts all your plastics, and you might as well cut it off. This side you don't have to cut off, but every time you fit the cage your catching pull start. Bit annoying, you can manage. Should have really left it on because now I've cracked the cage there. Also cracked the cage down there. So anyway, pretty strong though still. I still bash it because I've got the BDR light bar and rear bar. This is an LED off eBay for your car. Runs on 12 volts, but you can wire it up to plug a battery into it, but I never have because you'd have to run a separate battery because it draws too much power from your servos. So I'll take this cage off. What we got here? Team Chase bumper mount, which has finally snapped. You know, when you get these, you can fit them two ways, either archway down or archway up. Archway down's the strongest way, but I've eventually cracked it, but I'm not going to change it, don't need to. So this car's got all RC Max bulkheads, FLM arms, extended arms, bonehead hinge pins, IRC shocks, FLM shock towers with braces. You need these braces, otherwise these bolts just bend. The bolts that go through here are not as thick as what you would find on the Losi shocks. There we are. Anyway, yeah, we've got RC Max Y plate, which if you're going to run a Barger, any size engine, you need a thicker Y plate. You also need the little skid plate, that red in there, because it strengthens up the front end. Because if you don't, when you crash, it'll snap along there. So you need them. So this is the IRC chassis. You don't really need this. I run the big bore on a roving chassis for ages. I eventually decided I'm going to get a load of parts. Might as well do it all. Got that. Got the modified RC rear chassis plate, which is probably one of the must-haves for a big bore engine. That or a carbon fibre chassis, which I also have on another build. That'll be in another video. We got the Fonzie RC extended turnbuckles for FLM arms and SimSteer. You got to get the right ones. There's about 6 different sets. You got standard arms with stim steer. You got extended arms with normal steering, extended arms with sim steer. Then you've also got your Losi ones, your Losi 2.0 ones, your Losi ADI steering, all sorts, all sorts. So you got to get the right ones. Got the Roven SimSteer tray there. High-tech servo, I think that is. Savox servo, just what I had, you know, lying around. Use what you got, basically. Any servos are fine apart from the cheap ones. The cheap ones don't last 2 minutes. You get them on eBay and they don't want to refund you. You run it for one tank, which on this is 7 minutes. Servo dies. They're not interested in refunding you. So, yeah. So, moving on. King Motor aluminium front hubs. Yeah, they're alright. They do the job. If you're going to run aluminium front hubs on a Baja, this part needs to remain plastic, because that is another bendable part. The aluminium one just bends upwards. You also need to, really, even if you're running plastic hubs, drill these bolts out. These bolt holes here, drill them out to the next size up, because that is a weak area. The bolt bends. This bends, the triangle bends, the bolts bend. Makes it a nightmare to get the bolts out. Take your standard ones out, measure them. There's something like 3mm. Drill them out to 3.5mm or 4mm or something. Whatever the next size up is, do that. Makes it a lot stronger. You're best off leaving these balls plastic, because it's just a wear and tear part. The aluminium ones do break, so you might as well just use plastic, it's cheaper. RC Max side rails. These really strengthen your cage up, which it's one of them things where I don't know if it's a good thing, I don't know if it's a bad thing. When I first put them on, didn't have as much flex in cage. I've run them for maybe 2 years since they come out, really. I've finally snapped a mount on the back here. One of the plastic triangle mount things here. Yeah. So, moving on. Stock tank. Don't need an aluminium tank on this. Not that arsed. Plastic tank will do. You need a breather. This is an Apico. Pico, it says, one-way breather. So if you pulled that off and put it to your mouth, you can suck through it, so it will let air into the tank, but you can't blow through it, so it won't leak. You need one of them, even for 30ccs, 29ccs. The standard breather hole in a tank is useless. You need one of these. That's a must-have upgrade for any engine, you know. Got high flow lines on it, but I think high flow lines might be a scam. You need to measure the internal diameter and check them. Bonehead coil mount thing. Remove the push button because you don't need them. They're just a pain in the arse. Obviously that's the engine. Stage 671 with an extender. Extenders are really handy. Coming to the back, RC Max rear hubs. IRC drive shaft's got a locker in there, Blackbone gears, RC Max 3-piece case, TR single-piece brake mount, Taylor spare gear plate, you know, your Blackbone gears, and then these are Roven. These are a Roven brace. These are quite good. Just a little bit extra strength there. Bonehead top plate at the back. Now the stock aluminium ones crack along the brake mount somewhere. Not the stock ones, the IRC ones, the some of the other makes, whatever they are, the crack there. The Bonehead ones I've yet to see crack. I think Dean said he's only had one back that might have got damaged in space of like 5, 6, 7 years, or whatever it is, been selling them. IRC shocks on the back, red springs, 828 oil. Same on the front, 828 oil. Red springs, very stiff, makes it wheelie more wheelies. So yeah, we've got RC Max, full back end, shock tower braces, and bulkheads, plus the bumper mount. I went all out on